So talking about the week of December 11th, the moon going through the Mars-Jupiter conjunction in Libra, moon also going into Scorpio where it's debilitated. Going to look at some Gandanta placements, Mercury retrograde into the Gandanta point, going over the sun. A lot of transformative energy between sun moving in from Scorpio to Sagittarius. So I'm doing a video here about the week of December 11th, and you see that we have the week starting with the moon in Virgo here. It's in Hasta Nakshatra, and we'll have it moving through here. We have Mars, Jupiter in Libra. That gap will be closing. Venus, Sun, and Mercury retrograde are now in Scorpio. So Mercury's gone back into Scorpio at that Gandanta point. So Sun and Mercury retrograde are going to be converging on the Gandanta point, and this means that Mercury will be as close to the Earth as he ever is when Mercury's retrograde and combust, and at the same longitude as the Sun moving backwards. It's as close to the Earth as it ever gets. So we'll see that convergence happen this week, and then we'll also see the Sun go into Sagittarius and also cross over the Gandanta point. So more of this Gandanta energy between the Jeshta Mula Gandanta. See, my voice is a little hoarse here. I just spent a powerful weekend teaching, my Jaimini Vedic Astrology weekend with my students. 3 days of intense teaching, so my voice is a little rough. Anyway, so you can see here on Monday, moon here is in Virgo in Hasta Nakshatra, so of course that has to do with organizing details, structuring your immediate environment, organizing those things skillfully. That's what's shown. And of course, Hasta means the hand, and it's about manifesting and putting things in the palm of your hand, so to speak. And the deity is Savitur, so the Gayatri mantra could be important on Monday, December 11th. Then Tuesday the 12th, you see the moon continues through Virgo, and it's in Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra is equidistant in between Virgo and Libra. So it's half in Virgo, half in Libra, right? So it exists right there in the middle point. So there's this quality of evenness, equality, skill, and craftsmanship. Chitra is ruled by the celestial architect, Vishwakarma. And again, it's half in Virgo, which is about skill, precision, detail, craft, and Libra, which is about beauty, art, refinement, aesthetic, and sharing, pleasure. So often when we see the Chitra side in Virgo, it's about the precision, skill, detailed work, and the Chitra part of the nakshatra in Libra is more about a social kind of structure and sharing and wanting to share the beauty with others and get into that kind of social structure, but they're ruled by Vishwakarma, the celestial architect. So on Tuesday we'll feel that shift in the second part of the day on Tuesday to a Libra type of energy. Notice that rather than the Virgo sort of internal kind of fastidious and organizing quality of Monday. Middle of the day toward the evening on Libra, you'll feel more of a social, wanting to get out and share beauty and experiences with others. That'll be later in the day. And you also see that Mercury and Sun are closing in almost exact degree. And you'll see that here you see that how fast Mercury is moving. Look, he's 27-29, which is only about a half a degree. So on Tuesday, they're almost exact. This is almost the exact degree. By this time on Wednesday, Mercury will have passed the Sun and gone at lower degree of longitude. So on Tuesday, literally it's a day to really use your discrimination and faculty. So when planets are retrograde, they're actually closer to the Earth. When Mercury or Venus are retrograde and combust, they're as close to the Earth as they ever get. So you can see here Mercury on Tuesday is at about a half a degree higher longitude than the Sun. By the same time on Wednesday, Mercury has gone lower than the Sun by almost 2 degrees. Look at how fast Mercury is moving. The sun is then 2752, almost 28, and Mercury is barely 26. So you see how fast planets appear to be moving when they're retrograde and that close to the Earth. It's as fast as Mercury moves, unless he's opposite the Earth on the other side of the sun, but we don't want to have an astronomy lesson. But so the mind is moving very fast, you could say this week, the buddhi and the discrimination, but maybe it's moving fast backwards, retracing your steps. And this is what Mercury retrograde is about. In my course over the weekend, we had a lot of Mercury retrograde moments, especially with people's travel and whatnot, and I explained even quite a bit of my potential Mercury retrograde moments that were subverted. We had a couple, but they mainly have to do with the technology. If you don't go back and check, again, this is the thing about Mercury retrograde, because I do happen to have a powerful Mercury, it's in Gemini, I always double check and recheck to make sure things are okay once I start to use technology. It's just a habit because I use technology a lot. And there were a couple times in the class, even when we were about to do something, and I said, see, we just had a Mercury retrograde moment almost, where if I didn't check this, I was going to have a problem while I was recording the class. So this is really what Mercury retrograde is about, is how much are you paying attention to the details in advance to make sure that they don't get all mixed up and confused. So these might be big themes on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we see here by Wednesday, the moon has gone into Libra. This is on December 13th. The moon has gone into Libra, and it's joined Mars and Jupiter, and it's here in Swati Nakshatra. So Swati is the nakshatra related to the god Vayu, who is the god of the wind. It has to do with prana, energy, the breath, and also a sense of service, because the main emanation of Vayu was Hanuman, who was the son of Vayu, the son of the wind, in the Ramayana. So there's that quality of service, and service to humanity, service to a higher cause, which we see in the nakshatra of Swati. It's also why in relationships, which is the sign of Libra, we tend to feel of service, and we have to kind of be humbled and be humbled. Have you ever seen the picture of Hanuman kneeling down before Lord Rama? You know, to some extent, if we want a relationship, we have to kind of be humbled before it. But we can't feel like we're being humbled as a servant in front of our master, the partner. That's when it gets off. So you can see the kind of dichotomy of relationships even by a lot of the qualities of Swati, and how it both can exalt our relationships but also kind of debilitate us in the process, where we can feel kind of overlooked. But we also see a Moon-Mars conjunction here, and also Moon-Jupiter is also important. We'll feel Moon-Jupiter more tomorrow, but because Jupiter and Mars are joined, we'll feel that whole kind of relationship between our opinions and our inspirations and all that stuff today and tomorrow. Maybe, and we'll be feeling more of the Moon-Mars fieriness today on Wednesday the 13th, and more of the Moon-Jupiter inspiration tomorrow on the 14th. And again, this Sun-Mercury crossing very close to the Gandanta point, or sort of in the Gandanta point, in the Jyeshta Gandanta point. So there could be some real fiery confrontations. Maybe you can look politically and see more confrontations happening. Here in the U.S., it's going to be the day after this contentious election in Alabama, where they might likely very much elect this guy who is known to be just a creep, who was probably molested young girls in his past and all that. These are some contentious times, as I talked about, over and over again, even in my 2018 forecast and much of this year. So that part, the end part of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all these planets passing through the Gandanta point, the Mula Jyeshta Gandanta point, will show that. So if we see Thursday, Moon has now just poked his head into Vishaka Nakshatra. The nakshatras are changing kind of in the middle of the day. So it's Swati Vishaka Nakshatra here on Thursday, December 14th. And Moon is very close to Jupiter, like we said, here in Libra. So it takes that sort of social justice and that sort of crusading nature. Vishaka has that fighting and crusading for the righteous. as a quality of it. Indra and Agni are the rulers, and so we may have that quality. It's also getting close to Scorpio, where the moon is debilitated. So we have to be careful not to just get on this sort of crusading high ground, this sort of moral kick, and not lose our discrimination about what we're fighting for and whatnot on Thursday. But again, there'll be a strong Jupiterian energy because Jupiter is related to Thursday, and the moon has joined Jupiter here. But it's in Libra, which is more about trying to create social harmony. But in the process, we crusade for social justice as well. Sometimes the only way to create harmony is to fight against the thing that's obstructing harmony. And then you see the moon is still in Vishaka Nakshatra for much of the day here, or for half the day, but it's in Scorpio. So again, the nakshatras, they don't follow our daily schedule. They kind of move arbitrarily. And so the moon is still in Vishaka Nakshatra most of the day on Friday, but it moves into Scorpio, and again, you see the sun is changing signs, 29:55. So the sun is really at the edge of Scorpio Sagittarius on Friday, December 15th, right in that transitional time. So again, Friday could be a very transitional day, with the moon passing through this the sun passing through the Gandanta point, and you see Venus and Mercury are in what's called a planetary war. There are many ways to look at the planetary war, but they're an exact conjunction. Ecliptic longitude, there are many ways to look at the planetary war. I'm not going to get into explaining that, but Mercury and Venus very close to each other means that those energies might tend to get mixed up, particularly because they're in Scorpio. Your ideas getting mixed up with your partner's ideas. Mercury's retrograde, so you're kind of not clear-headed so much. This is a recipe for, getting into some kind of paranoid projections with partners and whatnot, especially since the moon has now gone into Scorpio. Notice that on Friday. And again, the moon's going to be in Scorpio for the next couple of days. So Friday is, ruled by Venus, and it's, about relationships and wanting to get along. But again, there could be some intensity there. And then Saturday, Sunday, the moon is also in Scorpio. Saturday, it's in Anuradha Nakshatra, which is a devotional nakshatra at best. So it's good to really stay devoted, especially like to your friends and other, cohorts on Saturday. Very good for that. And on Sunday, moon is also passing. It's very close to Venus and Mercury on that day, but it's passing through that Gandanta point as well on Sunday. So, and it's in Jyeshta Nakshatra, which can be somewhat emotionally confrontational. So over the weekend, on, the 16th and 17th, we can have some of that emotional stress and drama happening with the moon going through the debilitation sign. I talked about this in my December forecast. You might want to go back and revisit it, because that sort of chain of stress and difficulty, I talked about December 15th through like the 20th, because then the beginning of next week, December 18th, then we have the new moon, then we have the moon, and it's joined Saturn, and all of that stuff, Saturn, Sun, and then it goes through Ketu. So there's kind of a chain of malefic energy into the middle of December that you want to also look at. So just wanted to make this quick update. I haven't done an update in a while because I was really getting ready for my Gemini course and other things, doing my 2018 forecast and whatnot. So if you didn't sign up for that yet, you want to do it. Voice is a little hoarse. As I said, also doing some readings. But so anyway, I hope this was helpful.